Hello everyone, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make Natsuki Subaru's jacket from Rate Zero. So like they sell this jacket online for about like $40. It isn't that bad, but I wasn't going to buy it because I didn't have that much money, so I made it instead. But I wanted to record it because I've been planning to record every time I've made a jacket, but I just decided to do it this time. This jacket was not too hard to make from the other ones I have made. I still struggle to work with zippers, but this actually came out pretty good. And I hope you guys find this video helpful. And right now I'm going to show you what materials, supplies you're going to need to make this jacket. Alright, so this next step might be a bit tricky if you don't have a pattern already made. So I am going to be using an Adidas tracksuit jacket that I already have that is the same pattern as Subaru's jacket. So to make the sleeve pattern, take the sleeve of the jacket and put it on top of either paperboard or any type of fabric. Then make the sleeve of the jacket flat and then trace it on the paperboard or fabric. Make sure when you trace the sleeve to draw at least 1 inch away from the jacket so when you sew it, it will be the right size. Now the next step is to make the torso pattern. This part is a little more tricky, but if you think about it, it is kind of easy in a way. So make the jacket flat on the fabric again and trace down with a Sharpie onto the fabric or paperboard of the corners of the jacket, so where the shoulder parts end and where the collar part ends. And then after you got that all traced out, cut it out and you're pretty much done with it. With the two parts on the collar and the front, make sure they go down 3 inches. Alright, so since Subaru's jacket has, I'm gonna put a picture right here, a little line, like a part of it goes black up on here, and then there's a yellow line through here. So when I make this, I gotta cut out the white just by this line. So I'm either, just because I don't want to ruin my pattern, I'm just gonna draw where the lines are and make sure I go like a little longer over it, so when I sew it, it will fold in and it'll still be right at that size. And when I was doing the shoulder part here, it had to be at least 6 inches, and I went only like 4.5, so I have to add a little more if I want to have my sleeve be the right size to it, because I can't make my sleeve any smaller. See, if I put it right there, it will fit, but if I put it up to that, it's not gonna fit right. It's a little too big. Alright, so now I'm going to be cutting out the sleeves. And the best way to cut out the sleeves is take your pattern of the sleeve, fold it up like this, and then with your fabric, take the end of it and fold it like this. When you have the fabric, it's normally folded down twice, but you don't want to cut into the middle of it. So unfold all of it and take the edge of the entire fabric and just fold that one edge at least enough to fit the whole entire sleeve in. So now with the sleeve, with my sleeve pattern, I made the sleeve a little longer so I can cut it down to the size that I want. Alright, so now my sleeve is all placed. I'm kind of flattening the black fabric down a bit so it's perfect. And either with this, ooh, I don't got that on the full shot, sorry. That's fine. So either with this, you can either trace it out with chalk, because it's a black fabric, or, which I say you can do, you can pin it down with pins, because it is fabric. The kind of fabric I used for my pattern was muslin. It was a cheap $4 fabric I got at Joann's, super cheap, and I got about a few yards of it so I had enough when I make my patterns. So use these pins and pin along the sides. As best you can. And I'll get back when all of it is pinned. Alright, now that I got this whole thing pinned down, now I have to cut it out. So just cut along right here, because if you drew it and you kind of messed up where you drew it, I say on black fabric it's fine because the chalk will rub off, but if you do it with white fabric and use a marker, it's going to not come off and it will stain it. So if you trace it out wrong, it will come out bad. So make sure, it's just a lot easier with using pins. The next clip will be when I have my two sleeves cut out. Alright, so I got both of my sleeves cut out, and when you do the lines on the sleeves, you use this stuff that it's already folded, and when you put it at the edge, it'll sew down nice and it'll look good. It's perfect to use rather than just fabric you already have to fold the edges and everything. But if you'd rather do that, you can do that if you want. Alright, so now I am doing the torso. This one, I'm going to be doing the back part. And with this one, the collar has to be up a little more. So the 3 inches goes to ½ inch. And I have to make this about 6 inches here. And when I also cut out the pattern, I made this part go a little weird. So now I have to cut through here to make both sides more square. So I'm gonna dot each spot where I have to cut. Alright, now that you got all of your parts dotted, I know I said before with the marker, but with this is gonna be a little bit easier when cutting everything out. And yeah, so alright, so now I got my entire back part ready to be cut out. So the next clip will be everything cut out. Alright, so I got the torso pieces cut out. The only thing that is not part of the torso is I cut the top part where I'm going to be adding the black. The back piece is here. So that was part of the back. That I had to take this and put it on the black fabric and cut that out into that shape and make the end of it where it was like there. So down here, a little bit longer, so when I sew it there, it's the exact size as it was. Next clip I will have these pieces in black and I'll show you. Then after that, I'll show you how to sew them together. All right, so now I got the black pieces all cut out. They're a little bit bigger, I know, but when I sew them on and everything, I'll cut them to the shape and size that I need them, so they're perfect in the way I want. So with sewing the two pieces together, you're gonna want a sewing machine. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can either sew it by hand, or you can go to Walmart and they sell this little $20 sewing machine. I know it doesn't sound as good, but I had it before. That was how I started with sewing. I used a little tiny sewing machine, but as I worked a lot more, my parents got me this one. So, and this one has a lot of different stitches. So with this one, you're gonna want to do a zigzag, because this certain fabric stretches, you don't want to use a straight stitch because then it'll be all like weird and wavy. Using a zigzag will keep it stretch, or you can use number 15, a hem stitch that will close everything up and still stretch with it. But I still think the zigzag stitch is better, because after I do the zigzag stitch, I am going to be sewing the yellow line over the seam of the black piece and the white piece to give it, because there's a yellow line between them, and it will also cover up the stitch on the inside. So now I'm going to show you how to sew it. So now I have pinned the black piece to the white piece, and I'm going to sew it down with a zigzag stitch. Okay, so now I got my two pieces cut out, and now I gotta sew the yellow line across on it. And if you have a sewing machine, make sure to get this color of thread. It's like a deep yellow thread, and make sure it's on the bottom and top, so it shows good on both sides, because the inside of it really doesn't matter unless you're adding it. Yeah, it just really does not matter. But if you don't have a sewing machine, do not do it by hand, because you could easily puncture yourself with the needle. Trust me, it has happened to me before. So I either say glue it down or find any other solution to kind of do it. Alright, so this is how it came out. See, this is a lot easier than using the just any other kind of fabric that you have to fold by yourself. This stuff is already folded. So, and this is what it looks like in the inside. Really not that much of a big deal. But now I am going to do the other front torso and the sleeves. So okay, so I currently have both of the sleeves done and the torso done. The next part is I have to sew the shoulders together, so the front and back. Then I'm gonna sew these two parts together and measure it out to make sure because this thing needs to be like a little tight around my waist, but the waistband will be doing that. Then I'll sew the sleeves on. Then I'll start to work on the cuffs, the collar, and the waistband, and then the zipper. Okay, so now I got everything sewn together on this part, but now you have to sew the sleeve into the armhole. And the way to do this is turn this part inside out, so where the seam is, and make the sleeve the right side, and put it in the inside of this. And when it's in, make sure the edge of this is by the edge here, and pin it all the way around. And where this is, this seam has to connect with this seam, and it would be perfectly lined up. Alright, so I got basically this part of the jacket done now. Then the next step is to do the collar. The front part of the collar is going to be black, and the inside of it is going to be yellow. I have some deep yellow fleece. It has a good stretch, so this is going to be made of the cuffs too. It's super soft. I got it at Hobby Lobby. Super good fabric. And I'm going to use more of this black fabric for the other side. And when you got the collar done, you can do the zipper right after. And then after you get the zipper done, you could do the waistband. It's best to start off from the top. So with the collar, you're going to want to measure the whole entire area around here. So I just took this and put it around the collar to see how long it was. It is about 20 inches. So with your collar pieces, take your black and yellow fabric out and put your ruler tape on it to see, at 20 inches, and cut it out. And now you have to sew these two pieces right along here, and then you would turn it inside out, and then you would sew the other part to the collar part of the jacket. A cool trick you can do, so let's say I already just folded this, sewn this together, I mean. So this side's yellow and this side is black. And normally when you use a sewing machine, you would have this color and that color the same exact thing. But to make this side black with the thread and that side yellow, put the black thread on the bottom or the top, whichever side. So if you're sewing this way, the yellow's on the top and the black is on the top. If you're sewing that way, the black has to be on the top and the yellow has to be on the bottom. I have no more black thread, so I have to use the yellow on the top and the black on the bottom, and I have to do it this way. Now I'm sewing a line right on top of here to keep this from like folding in. It'll keep the collar all nice and firm where it is. Alright, so I basically got the good majority of the jacket done now. So the next step is sewing the zipper on. This is a lot longer than the ends of this. This part will be folded in. So there's like a lot that's going to be folded in. I'm going to cut that down a bit for all that. And this part is going to stay up. I haven't sewn this down. So I'm going to start the zipper from right here, going all the way down. And it should be good there. So I pretty much got the whole zipper done. It's just the only thing, the zipper was not long enough to go further down, so I have to cut more of the torso to have the waistband on. But other than that, the zipper looks really good. Everything's lined up. That's just a little out of place, but that doesn't really matter if it's just like a tiny bit. Other than that, it looks perfect, and when I wear it, it's gonna be down like that. So it's not gonna matter because I have to show the shirt. And for this part that's right down here, this all this, I added that on to keep from the zipper going on, to keep from the zipper bugging me, and that was super easy to add. And that I just folded it on the other side. I took this piece, put it on that side, going that way, and zigzagged it on the back of the zipper. And when I put the rest of the zipper on, it was on there. And normally on this jacket, there's like a big line that goes down from here. So after, I'm gonna fold this in a little and sew that down, and it should be good from there. Now I'm gonna be showing how to do the waistband. Okay, so I got most of this jacket done now. From this going down, it's only a little uneven, but I say it's okay. If some of you guys did it, you guys would probably do it a lot better than I did. But I got the collar sewn. I sewn the edge of this just to make so the collar wouldn't bug me as much. So let me unzip that. See, it's zigzag, then straight stitched right on top of there, just to kind of hold it better. And now, just with these, I suggest you hand stitch it to this, because doing it with a sewing machine will show it on this side, and you could just sew it to here, which would be a little better. And then, now I'm going to be showing you how to do the cuffs. So to make the cuff, I measured the end of the sleeve, which is about 8 inches. So I took the 8 inches and measured it for the cuff, but because I'm going to be sewing the ends, I'm going to make it 8.5. And with this length, I'm going to make it 6, but then I'm going to make it 6.5 because then I'm going to be folding it and then sewing the parts to the sleeve. Okay, so I got both parts of the cuffs cut out. So then what you're going to have to do is fold it to whatever side and sew with either a zigzag or a straight stitch. I say a zigzag stitch will be a little better, but then a straight stitch is fine if you just want to make it a little faster. Okay, so I got both cuff parts cut out and sewn. Now the last part is to sew it to the sleeve. There's 2 ways to do it. You could take the sleeve and put it inside at the end like this, and when it's sewn to the edge, you can turn the other side inside and sew the other piece by hand, or you can fold this piece in like here, I'm gonna put this down like this, and have both edges like this, and put the sleeve through there and sew it together. Either way works. Okay, so I got both cuffs sewn on, and let me just say, I think so far this jacket is really comfortable. So far it's all done, but the only thing left is to put the little N logo, and a few ways you can do that is you could the picture of the N logo, or you can draw it out to whatever size you feel is right. Now get your printed or drawn logo and cut it out. Then grab deep yellow felt sheet and a black felt sheet and put the N on the black and the circle on the yellow. After you get both pieces cut out, take a thin Sharpie and then draw where the end of the line where the N is, and then after you draw that line, cut out the inside where you drew the lines, so when you place it down, it's not puffing out like this. This is what the end result should look like. The little pieces should fit in perfectly where they are, and it should look like all a solid piece. After you finish cutting your pieces out, place where you want your logo to be, and you have 3 ways you can put this on. You can either take some fabric glue or any kind of glue. I say fabric glue would be best because then you can wash it. Or you could sew it by hand around, or you can take it with your sewing machine, which I say place where you want your logo to be. And you have 3 ways you can put the logo on and keep it on. You could use fabric glue, you can sew it on by hand around the edges, or you can use your sewing machine to sew it down, which I say is best because then it'll keep it in place a lot better and it'll look a lot nice and more professional. Now after you got your N logo, it is all done. Okay, so I believe this jacket came out really good. A few things I would have done differently. I would have not done the little thing like in the inside where the zipper is. I don't know how to say it. Like the little lining by the zipper. I would definitely change that because it made the zipper look a lot wavy, and the waistband was pretty difficult. So I probably would have just left it all black, but I still think it looks really good. And I hope you guys think it looks good. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe, and I will be trying to make videos at least one video every 1, 2, or 3 weeks. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.